Hello. We're live on YouTube, aren't we, Jamie? I'm Lee Wilcox.
I'm Adam Barry.
And this is the Drunken Brainwave.
Yeah.
Do we roll VT again, or
No,
we don't, do we? Or
no.
do we?
We
Do what we want. Let's do it.
Roll the VT.
You always do that after you
Right up it, as Andy Taylor would say.
Yeah, sling it right up them. Welcome back, everybody. We skipped a week. Apologies. COVID got the better of us, and holidays, illness. Was you just ill?
I was just ill. So
on holiday, or was you ill?
No, remember. I was ill. Yeah. I mean, no, actually, the first week I was ill. The second week I was on holiday, or vice versa. Either way, I wasn't in.
Back. He wasn't in, and he's back. This is episode 10, isn't it, Jamie?
It can't be episode 10.
Is that right?
Is it?
Episode 10, yeah.
Epic.
Thanks for watching, listening. As always, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a
comment,
review. Leave a review on Apple or Spotify, wherever you're listening. This is a podcast about two mates who set up a business, have cocked up a load of stuff, got some of it right, and we try to share some wisdom. Sometimes we'll get some guests in, sometimes we won't.
Just do what we want, don't we?
Just do what we want.
We're basically two working class scumbags that got lucky and managed to build an incredible business.
Oh, got lucky?
Wow.
Let me tell you about luck.
No, I don't like it when people call me lucky.
Yeah.
But I can say we've had some luck along the way.
Oh yeah, of course we have. Do you think it's luck? Do you think it's luck? Do you think it's?
I think you create your own luck, don't you?
I think you do.
Yeah, law of attraction. No, I think you do get lucky. I think we've probably won a deal this year that's kept a lot of people in work.
100%.
Had that not happened, you know, you'd have to start looking at making redundancies and stuff. So I think we've been lucky. You didn't get handed it. It didn't drop out the sky and go, here's some money. It's like built on like hard work.
I think luck appears like down the line from stuff you do. Yes, it's that whole thing of like being, you got to be in it to win it type thing. It's that thing, isn't it? I think like luck for me is timing. But timing only happens if you've done something previous. It's like a what do you call it? It's like a byproduct of doing something, of action. That's what I would call luck, a byproduct of action.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think we're all lucky in one way or another, aren't we? It depends how deep you go into it.
Yeah, it's quite a deep luck. Is quite a deep.
It is,
subject,
yeah.
Isn't it, really?
You're lucky that you were born in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, 100. Yeah, incredibly, really lucky. I'm a white male born in the UK. I mean, you can't get more lucky than that, really. I like the fucking jackpot, didn't I?
Yeah. That's what I mean. So if you want to look at that far back, and we had
it's made me feel really good. That
we had good upbringings.
White male, not like some kind of
let's not go there. Yeah, but no, I think we were fortunate that we had good upbringings. I think we got good backstory. I've got a good backstory. Everyone's, even billionaire people, like people with billionaire parents, they've got good backstories because they're in it. They're not in it for the money. They're in it for the love.
Yeah.
Whereas I've always been honest and open about the fact that the reason I started this business was to make money.
Oh yeah.
And still highly motivated by money. I'm not going to lie, because I think it allows me to get the things that I want, which aren't. I don't want a yacht. I don't want a Ferrari. I just want to live a nice, quiet life on a farm.
When we exit this business, which we will do, at some point across the next, I don't know, 5-7 years, whatever, I think that will happen. Would you buy like a really fancy sports car?
Probably, because I reckon at that point there, I'd probably be just entering a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
And I'd probably think, you know what, I'd like a nice car.
Early 40s.
But I'm not. The reason I don't have one now and don't want one is probably because I can't afford one. But I guess if I had a load of money in my bank, I'd be like, why not? Do you know what I mean? I've always wanted a nice Range Rover Sport. I think I'd probably buy one of those because it's like I've always wanted one, so I'll get one.
Yeah, okay, but I'm talking like a because there's a big difference
high
between a Range Rover Sport, like a high performance, a Ferrari or
an Aston Martin.
Something that's like, I don't know, like 200 clap, 250 grand, something like that.
You know what? I might do. I'd never say I wouldn't because I do like.
Because when you want one, you
because I do like expensive cars.
I said it in public that I wouldn't have one.
But I think I think it'd be like when I was in my 50s or something, because at the minute, I mean, most sports cars like that, they're only like 2 seats anyway. Who am I going to drive it with? One kid at a time, take them out in turns. Like me and the missus are never without the kids. So it's going to be like, when do we ever get to drive? Where am I going to go? To the shop in Aston Martin, like for some milk? No, I don't think so.
I always, and that's why I ask, because I always feel like I don't, because when you're talking about being born in a certain country, we still live in the country we're born in. And I always think with like high performance sports cars like that, I kind of feel like they shouldn't really exist in this country, because I'm a bit like, what can you really do with, like, what can you really do with them? Like you say, you're going to go to the co-op in it? I don't think so.
Convertible.
Like a bit of a cock.
2 weeks of the year.
Yeah, and maybe it's, and I always think you've got to have like nice weather, not necessarily for convertibles, but like just in general. Like I always imagine like a high performance sports car, I'm like, I've got to be like in like America or Dubai or like somewhere where there's like big highways that I could just cruise down, or coastal roads, and like I suppose you've got that in like Cornwall, Devon, and all that, and Norfolk. But it's not my bag. I don't think I'd do it.
Well,
but like you say, who knows? When I hit 50, I might be like, oh,
you never know. We've never been into cars though. So like you get certain people who like love cars, they're into cars, you know, they've like modified the cars and they've got like clear car goals. I've never had that. Like never really had like a top of the range car. Never purchased a dream car, I don't think. I think the car I've got now was my dream car when I was 17. That's why I got it. So it's like when I first got it, I was like, I love this car. Always wanted one. I think I'd get classics.
Oh yeah,
I think I'd probably buy like things that remind me of my youth. I'd probably get a Renault 5 Turbo.
Renault 5 Turbo. Get a Peugeot 306.
Seriously.
What's the one that Bond? Oh, that's it. The one that you
DB5 up there. Look.
Yeah. See, I'd if I had enough dough, I'd get something like that. How much is that?
Mil.
Oh no, I wouldn't.
No, it's a lot of money.
£1 million on a car, I feel like too much. I wouldn't ever want to drive it. But something like that, I think you can like, that's like quintessential British, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I'd love to like whip that round.
Yeah,
I'd whip that round the car.
Yeah.
Really, but I'd like, I'd drive that around the UK.
I think I'd have to get cars that told a story. So if I was to have like, if I was really wealthy and I had like 10 garage type, you know what I mean? Like 10 cars in the garage.
Jamiroquai.
Do you know when they're on cribs and they're like, I got all these cars.
I said Jamiroquai.
Jamiroquai
with his cars.
Yeah, I think I'd have cars that told a story. Like this is this spec car and it's from this year, and rather than just going, here's like loads of here's a brand new Rolls Royce. Here's a brand new I like history a little bit more, and I think that's the route I'd go. Yeah.
We went off on a tangent.
I know, yeah. Sorry about
cars,
but it was kind of business related. Talking about selling the business.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I don't even know what to talk about. We're talking about 2020. I don't know about you, but I am. As you can probably tell by my demeanour and my fucking COVID cut at the minute, I am
COVID cut.
It's one part of it's going this way, and the other part's going that way. And if I pull it down and do this, I kind of look like
Derek.
Gym off Friday night. Yeah, gym off Friday night, or Derek. Yeah,
I need to cough. I've not got COVID.
Oh, here he goes again.
Excuse me. That was a strong cough. That was a strong
cough. Yeah,
we'll edit that out.
But yeah, my general demeanour is I'm done. Like
I can tell you've had enough.
Gone.
Yeah,
I think enough.
The reason we're talking about 2020 as well is because this is the last podcast this year, isn't it?
This is the last podcast this year, yeah. So give it some love, leave a review, subscribe.
Yeah,
do what you can.
Swipe up.
Swipe up. Hit the like button. Yeah. Not just subscribe.
But what a year it's been, I guess, for everyone. But I was going to say particularly business owners, but actually like just anyone who's been employed. Everyone's been affected by this in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I can't quite believe that it's the end of the year. So if you think about like when this all kicked off in March, yeah, we'd moved into here. We'd been in here 30 days. everything was like, in fact, what I actually remember of the first like memory I've got of COVID, right, was when, I don't know if you remember or not, we were having, checking on the food.
I just looked at, just seeing if it's
we were having a meeting about, what's that event in Barcelona? Oh God, the name. Anyway, the name's, I forgot the name, but
was it a Sony event? Was it something?
No. Sony asked us to go. I think it was a Sony, right. or it may have been another phone provider or technology company. There are others available, and they'd asked us to go as a production team, and we were debating. I think it's the mobile conference, is it? I'm sure it's called that, the World Mobile Conference, something like that. And happens every year in Barcelona. Huge event. And we were like having COVID had just been like, I was about to say launched then.
Just been launched in the UK.
It's been launched in the UK. No, but the news from China was like making more of a stir. Do you know what I mean? But it hadn't hit anywhere really. And then we were having this conversation. You know, is it safe? Like, you know, all the brands were still going, all the companies still going, everything, and we were like, I just don't know whether it's safe sending people or not. And actually, I don't think we could get the price right.
No, I think we looked at the profit as well at one point. And was like, is it worth making that money and risking people? Yeah,
and in the end, we was like, it doesn't. We got the right price, and then we were like, I think I remember saying to Scott, like, I don't really care. I think it's just the wrong decision. I think we're going to send people out there. We don't know really what's going on. Probably going to blow over, but it's not worth the amount of money that we're going to get paid for it. Don't do it. And then like 2 days later, Facebook pulled out, and then like all the others did. All the others started, like big. I think Amazon pulled out as well at the same time as Facebook, and there was a few others. And I was like, shit, that's serious. That is, like them not pulling out. And then didn't really think anything of it. And then like a couple of days passed, and then it started getting all a bit more serious. And then like within a week, we were all at home, like chilling, like what the fuck's gone on? And I think, if I think about that now, those periods, like that first week when we were just like, I mean, we were talking like 20 times a day, literally, like constantly on and off the phone to each other. And obviously with the rest of the board and the leadership team, was having meetings in the morning, meetings in the evening, sometimes 2 or 3 meetings in the evening. And then we were getting phone calls from clients. And I remember the one day we had like 3 phone calls, and Mark ringing me, and I was just like, shit, we're done. Like, this is the end of us. Who the hell thought this? And then I started thinking, fuck, like the lease on the new, like the building we've just moved into, like all that money we spent, and like I quickly started going into a bit of a meltdown of like, oh my God, like I'm going to be bankrupt again almost. But this time I'm like I'm in proper debt. This is serious director debt. This is like the shit that's going to last forever debt.
And the annoying thing with that was as well, is like, it ain't our fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like,
you've been irresponsible.
Yeah. So like I could look at, business that I've had to fold in the past and look at it and go, that was definitely my fault that business didn't work. But this was just something different, wasn't it? But I think everyone went through that stage of sheer panic and worry. I think I've been vocal about this before, but it was really nice weather as well, wasn't it? Like March, April, I think start of April.
Belting weather,
it was really hot. So everyone was getting in the gardens. And I just remember starting drinking most days at about 2. I was like, it got to that point where I was like, I need to have a gin. And I was drinking at 2 o'clock, like on calls, but it was fine because the world's about to end. It was all about to lose our jobs. Like, if you're going to go out, you're going to go out on a bang, aren't you?
Yeah.
And then actually,
you're going to go out with old fashions, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. And when the business, we started to realize that actually the business is going to get through this, I thought best start packing the drinking in. Like,
realize you've got a drink problem.
Yeah, and I was like, I best, prep for a normal life now. But yeah, it's been a strange, real, like tough year. The difficulty is like we're out of it now. As far as we can see, it doesn't look like it's going to get any worse. There's a vaccine on its way, etc. But there's still so many people that are going to go to the wall, especially hospitalities.
Yeah, I seen a like on BBC, like notifications on your phone, and it just gives you a little synopsis, and it was like they found a new strain of COVID today, and they reckon it's linked with the like strong rise of cases in the southwest, I think it was, and I was like, is this for real? Oh, Your curry's come. Told you it was going to come.
Oh my God.
It's coming 10 minutes early as well.
I'm just going to apologise to anyone. Thank you. Anyone watching or listening, what we usually do is we order food not as early as I just ordered it. And it usually comes after we've finished the podcast. And I've got it today, and it's we're half an hour in, well, 20 minutes in, and the food's here. Right. But look, we've got microwaves. We've got microwaves.
We're flossing. We've got microwaves.
We can do that. But yeah, it's what have you learned, Lee? I tell you what, give me the 2 biggest things you've learned from this year. What's 2020 taught you? Give me 2 things.
About me, or what to do in general, like advice for other people, or about myself?
About yourself.
That I thought I was pretty resilient anyway. But that I'm probably more resilient than I thought I was. So like, if I think about those times where we were, I was panicking, I didn't say shit to anyone. I wasn't like, that analogy of like the whole swan above the lake, feet whacking underneath. I don't think that's how people say it, but it's, you get my point.
Yeah.
The fucking swan.
You look calm at the top. Chaos.
It looks sound on top, whacking underneath.
Yeah.
That old saying. It was kind of like that. But and I think it's only really once we got past that point, and I look back and I thought, oh shit, like that was really stressful. But then on the other hand, the other thing I probably learned about myself is that I do not know how to look after myself at all. I don't mean like day to day, as in like I don't know how to like
tie my shoes,
or make some dinner or make a tea. I mean, I kind of do, because of that resilience, and I think that thing, like the jeopardy of having to make redundancies, and like really like I never really, I guess, the clients cancelling and ringing up, and at that point I thought, well, shit, we're in a real bad place here. And whether I thought that the business was going under, or whether I thought the business would just be a completely different business, and it might be like me, you, Mark, and Andy sat in this massive office, but either way, I thought it was like, we were going to the wall to a certain extent. But I think because I was resilient through that period, I kind of didn't know then how to turn that off again. So then I just went full for the whole of this year. I've just gone, and then now I'm at the end of the year, and I'm like, oh no, like I'm really like, I feel really tired.
Do you mean more mentally then? Like you didn't know how to look after yourself mentally?
I guess so, but then it forms both parts, doesn't it? I think if you can't mentally look after yourself, then actually physically your body comes after it. Yeah. Because I don't think there's many people that are mentally looking after themselves who are hitting the gym and eating well. I think that comes after being mentally equipped, or I don't think it means I'm incapable of doing it. I think I just get carried away. It's the only way I can explain it. I think the jeopardy of like failure with this business takes over every element of me.
Just outweighs everything.
And it shouldn't. And I think that's that's a big problem that I've got.
I think
it's great for everyone working here that they'll always have a job, because I'll die before they lose their jobs probably. But
I think this is a little change for you, and we said it in a previous podcast one. I think it was about having kids while running a business. I think when the baby comes, it'll change, because you'll have that 24/7 distraction. So like I know, like, and part of the reason like getting this done, eating food, and me going home, I'll probably go quite quickly after the food tonight, because there's a chance I'm still going to get to see the kids before they go to sleep. And it's not that distraction of going, okay, this is important, but I know like every day I'm seeing a distraction. Like I wake up, the kids are there. Like, do you know what I mean? There's just more to like keep me going. Oh, hold on a minute. This is important, but really, like we said before, when you're on your deathbed, what do you think of? You don't think of the business. You think of your kids, your family, etc.
And it's the big things. So So what happens is it's at this like real macro level that I go, right, that can't drop, that you just fucking can't. Yeah. So when that, when something like this happens to the business, I'm like, right, you double down, you get on with it. And I get the support from Kelly to do that as well, because she just gets it. But then because I've got such like focus on this macro, it wouldn't be like, and touch wood, but if anything happened to like Cal or Avery, it's not like I'd be like, I'm sorry, I'm in a meeting. Like I'd fucking be out the door, be gone. Like it wouldn't, but then, so the big things with the people that I love wouldn't get missed. Yeah. But then I miss so many of the little things.
Yeah.
Like the stuff I should be doing, the stuff that's going to like build relationships, build love, like build trust. I miss those bits. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm pretty unreliable, actually. That would probably be, so I think I've learned that I'm resilient, probably too resilient, but then I've also learned I'm pretty unreliable.
But I think that'll, like I say,
it's pretty shit, that is, isn't it?
No, it's not, because I think I was exactly the same until I was in a position where I had no choice. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think at the minute you get that choice, your circumstances are like, there is no baby depending on you, like literally depending on you to stay alive. Like, do you know what I mean? And when you've got kids at that age, you can't switch off. You have to be there for them. You have to be like in the room. You have to be understanding where they are. When they're a baby, you're worried about them. They don't move much. As soon as they get to crawling around, mate, another problem. As soon as they get to walking around, another problem. You've got to be with them constantly. So then you naturally just be like, no, this is obviously more important than work. Yeah. I can't get focused on something here when I need to be making sure they're not walking around and eating plugs and stuff.
It's the thing I'm struggling with at the minute, I think I would say, is probably just the being present part. I'm just, and whether that's fatigue, like mental fatigue, or whether that's just like I've not got my ducks in a row. I don't know. I think that's what I would say. What have you learned about yourself this year? What's the two things that you've learned about yourself?
I think I panicked early on, and I didn't think I'd be like that, because I've been through a lot, and I've always been really positive, and I've always been like, nothing can break me. I've always had that attitude, like I could run through a brick wall. And when this all happened, I just thought the worst. And I do remember there was one night I was saying to the Lord, this could end us. We're not selling the house. And, I had that whole conversation with Lorna, and she was just like, what's going on? It can't be that bad. And that was just me thinking of the worst case scenario. Yeah. And we had plenty of conversations where I was probably being like that as well. So I learned that actually, I needed to not toughen up, but I needed to just be more positive and not dwell on like the possibilities of how badly it could end, because it was just my mind doing that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we was never going to lose the business. That was never going to happen. Even worst case scenarios, we worked it out and was like, no, the business will still be here. Unless like the world ends and it's I Am Legend Will Smith and everyone's gone. And then at that point there, who gives a shit? But I think, I guess I learned that I wasn't as like, positive as I thought I was. So that's going to change. So now I'm not super, super positive. Now we're all right. Yeah. But next global pandemic, you'll see how positive I am. Right? And then secondly, again, how I, like you, the business was everything to me. And I'm like, I need to be in this business. I need to be on it 24/7. Even if I'm not, I need to make it look like I am. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be there on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, making sure I'm in the business. Whereas what's more important is your family, like spending time around my kids. That has made me go, God, like, where have I been? We said it in the podcast before, I missed Dylan growing up. Like, I don't want to miss another one. I don't want to miss Dylan going from 10 to 20, 20 to 30, but I will if I'm at work all the time. I can see why people aren't. I used to look at people who were like, I'm happy to just go and get a normal job where I don't need to progress in it. It's just this, I know what salary I'm getting. I turn up, I do my hours, I go home. I used to look at people like that as going, got no ambition. You don't know what it's like. Like, I can't believe them type of people. They're the ones who got it right. We're the weirdos. We're the ones that got it wrong. We're putting our business, our ambition above our loved ones. I sometimes I sit there and think, I wish I was happy with that, but I'm not. I'm like, I kind of look at things and go, oh, there's an opportunity to grow that. I'm like, just let it be. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, something will come out and go, oh, that excites me. That does. I wonder if we could do. And my brain works that way. It's weird.
I had it earlier on. One of our mates, someone we know. I won't mention them just because private. But they text me earlier saying proper random question about a business. And I haven't spoke to him in a while either. And they've set up a little business selling cocktails. You might know who it is, but you probably don't know. You don't. So
I don't know.
I'll tell you after anyway. Interesting. And rather than like, I couldn't answer the question he gave me because he asked me whether I'd run a pop-up shop before, and I was like, no, I haven't. Sorry, mate. I was like, why? What are you doing? Because instantly I was like, oh, if you've intrigued me. What are you selling?
What's the profit margin? What's your cost of sale?
I like selling things. What are you selling?
Yeah.
And then I started asking questions like that. How many orders have you done then? And he was like, oh, this. How are you doing? How are you marketing it? Oh, I'm doing it this way. And in my head, I'm already like
scaling it.
Yeah. I actually wrote back and said, yeah, how are these things packaged? I.e., like, what are they delivered in? How can you scale that? Like, what a cock! Like, why not just like?
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I always then have to like look at it, understand what the unit metrics are on something, understand what the brand looks like. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, why? Why have you got a fucking like? You haven't got enough to do, you idiot. Like, and I think you just saying that then about like, us getting it, we're the fucking weirdos. We're getting it wrong in terms of our balance, which I totally think I am at the minute. I think you've got a much better balance than I have. But you still go, but I couldn't go and.
It's hard.
I couldn't go and get a 9 to 5 and then because it's not what I want to do, right? So why is that? What are we doing? Like what's in us that what's in us that doesn't allow us to go, this is enough?
It's strange.
What's that about?
I wish I could say. And that's not to say I'm greedy, because you know what? I could go and do something, but again, like, if this all ended tomorrow, I'd probably just go and do buy and sell on eBay and Depop and you know what I mean? Like, I'd just do that because I know I could make some money. It wouldn't be a massive amount of money, but it'd just be like, I think it's the thrill. There's always a thrill there with what we do, chasing that client, chasing that pitch. There's always like, it's always consistent gambles, isn't there? Even when you think about the content we create a piece of content, put it out. You're gambling whether you're going to get the jackpot, a few million views, turns into revenue, or whether it's going to bomb. And I think it's that constant, just like gambling. Maybe that's what it is.
We've got an addiction.
I think so.
That's what I think. So like, I think like, because when you're saying those things, I'm like, this is doing it for me, Rad. What are you talking about? You're talking about gambling, talking about like, oh, you're going to post a video and see how many views and money it makes. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, what? Like, and even you just saying then, if I'd go and do the buy and sell thing, I'd probably go and do probably chuck some money and go, let's go and do it together.
Yeah, how do we scale it?
But that'd be my point, is I wouldn't be able to just, like, I think whatever I end up building is that I don't know where it stops. So like, I don't know, this doesn't stop. In my brain, I'm like, I already know what we're going to be doing in 2022. I already know it. Yeah. And in 6 to 9 months' time, I know what we're going to be doing in 2023 and 2024. Like, that's how my brain works. And I think that's partly why we get to where we get to, because we set those visions and those goals. But when does it stop? When do you get off the train? And I don't just mean with this business. I don't mean when does this stop. I mean, like, how do you break that mold of going, what I've got right here in my working career is enough?
Yeah, I haven't got the answer. It's difficult.
Why not?
You know what? I think what'll happen is, and this is the great thing. I feel old at the minute. I feel older than 35, just because this year I think. Yeah, I used to think I felt 30. I feel 45 now. I'm always tired. I've obviously been ill this year. but just mentally, physically, just drained. I'm just done. But I think when you get to like the part where you sell a business, this is only from like people I know or I've seen. I think at that point there, you can step back and you're not in the day-to-day grind of things, but you're still going to be probably, you will invest money into startups and things like that, and maybe spend 1 or 2 days with each company a month and just have a few where you're still doing in your head these sort of like risks, this gambling, because you're gambling on your investments. And I think that'll be where you'll probably sit, because you're still going to want to do something. I don't think I will. I don't think I could. It's like when people say, oh, you know, if you won the lottery, what would you do? And I think like, if you could have everything you've ever wanted, like you would still, there's still something you'd want. It might not be material. It might not be like, I want to buy this, but it might be like, oh, you're still going to sit there wanting something. That's why so many people, you know, money doesn't make everyone happy.
Well, and this is the thing. So I'm not even, I don't think I'm even chasing money. And I really don't think I am. I don't really like, look, I earn,
excuse me.
I earn what I would like a salary that I'm really happy with. Yeah. I don't want more of it. I genuinely don't need more money. I don't buy lots of extravagant things. I spend like 10, 15 quid on the t-shirts that I wear every day. Like I don't buy designer clothing. I don't, you know, so I don't think I'm doing it for money. Ad's being ushered around. Is he not sitting in the right spot?
Oh, is that like this? Yeah. Thank you.
There we go.
Apologies about that. If no one could see my beautiful face through this.
Yes. So then I'm like, well, what are you doing it for? And I think maybe I'm chasing. Success is the wrong word.
I think, but success is so subjective, isn't it?
Achievements in like whatever milestones you want to sort of put them at. Do you know what I mean? Whether that's going to be exiting the business, whether it's getting it to a certain revenue. I'm always like, okay, that's the target. Go and get it. Like, and then when I get there, before I get there, I've already.
Yeah.
When I know I'm getting there, there's a new one.
What do you target? What do you dream of? Like not like literally dream of. I mean, like. So for me, what I think about is, I think when I sell out and I exit the business, I'm able to invest my time into my family and seeing the world a bit and quality of life. But that will only be a short period of time, because kids are only young so long. You know, you're 10, 15 years and they're no longer your family. They have their own family. They have a husband, a wife, kids, and then you kind of don't really see them as much as you do now. So at that point, then I'm like, okay, well, that's what I'll do to begin with, is I'll invest all my time into being with them until they're sort of like ready to go out into the world. And then after that, I'm like, then I'm just going to like spend the rest of my time with Lorna, traveling the world. And that doesn't mean I won't ever work again, but I'll make sure like it's very, very weighted towards experiencing life and having a great life. So that's my dream. And I think about that every day. What's your dream?
Yeah.
Have you got one?
See, you're making me even more worried about my mental state. I don't think
Prime Minister.
That's how more I think. Honestly, so
my dream is getting out of the rat race. I want out, like long term. I don't want. I've still got years left in me. Don't get me wrong. I'm young, but my dream is like, the reason I've done this and the reason I've sacrificed, the reason I've like put myself through hell and my family through hell. That's what happens when you own your own business, is to then give it back and go, I've been able to do this because I've sacrificed so much in the past.
Yeah, I don't think I think like that. And
I don't think there's a right or wrong way, by the way.
No. I just know I don't, because I haven't. I can't answer your question.
Yeah.
So I think there's but when you say be prime minister, I'm like, I could probably do that.
Yeah, and don't pay enough there, do they?
No.
About 150 grand a year, aren't they?
I mean, and I think that's where my brain goes. My brain goes, what can I go and achieve?
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean your dream isn't going to achieve anything, because it is, obviously, because
it's subjective.
Yeah, but that's my point. But I think about like, and then it makes me think like, I wonder whether I'm driven by. I think I'm like quite driven by like impact and like change and sort of like being able to have the power is the wrong word, to the influence to be able to do that. Yeah. So I feel like now where we're at the business, we've grown this business, we're at a point where I'm like, I have some influence to change things. Yeah. And whether it be the fucking P&L or whether it be like Birmingham and careers and, or whether it be, outside of this, I go into like, I'm not interested in politics. I'm not, but like, just other things. But I guess this is my point when my initial question is like, when does that, how do I stop that?
Yeah. It's strange, isn't it? I think you need to have some goals and think about that. Because I don't care at that point there.
Short-term goals.
Yeah. That's definitely
personal ones as well. So like, like we want to, it sounds like a funny goal, but like we want to extend the house because
it's not a funny goal.
We want to get Cal's nan to move in with us, and like so I'm really like fixated on that at the moment of like, all right, how do I like make that happen? But kind of past that, I'm like, it's all about the house at the minute, and I think that maybe I'm like a bit of nesting really, because like I know we've got the baby on the way, and I want Cal to be comfortable, I want the baby to be comfortable, So
sure, and I think like short term is key as well. Like I'm the same. Like we, not next year after, we want to get the house extended and stuff like that. I guess like when I think about what I want in the future, if I'm thinking about it now, I know it will happen. Like we were thinking about this 4 years ago, and it's happened because every day you're making that step towards doing it. I know I'm going to get to a stage in this business, and whether anyone else wants to or not, in 3 or 4 years' time, where I'm going to start thinking about how do I start winding down, might end up still being a part of the business and be able to do that. That's the luxury of putting all these years in. You might be able to step away a little bit and maybe start working less days. But ultimately that is the goal. It's like not retirement, because I'll always do something, but I want to see the world. I've sacrificed my younger years on businesses and failing businesses. I've never traveled, been to Spain, been to the Costa del Sol, you know what I mean? But not much further than that. We went to Paris and, been to Cannes, but
the business has allowed us to travel a bit more, hasn't it? So, I'm just thinking now, like, you saying then, like, 3-4 years I will wind down, and then like in 10-15 years ago, I think about myself in 10 to 15 years, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be running a massive company somewhere.
Yeah, I won't be.
You know what? It won't be this one, but it'll be something.
Yeah,
might not even be in this country. It might not, like, I don't know. That's how
that's the beauty about how young we are, though, because we could have completely different lives after this, or this could pivot into something even different to what we do now. Look what we've done over the last few years. We just keep doing new things, but I know deep down inside that is not my dream. I couldn't think of anything worse.
Yeah, and I know, like, Kelly, like, should be having a breakdown listening to this. Do you know what I mean? Of like, that's what you want to do, like. But that's career. But then I think if I think about like my like family life and that, I'm like, well, I just want us to be. I just want us to be happy. I want us to be. I want to be. I want to be in a home that is mortgage free, because there's less stress in a house that doesn't have to meet bills. I want to have a big enough garden to run around in it with the kids, and like I definitely want to travel the world more with Cal and the kids, but I would do that in like holidays, whereas Cal would do that flat out. Okay, let's dissipate. Like Cal would like buy a van and like, do you know what I mean? Like full like home.
Well, Kelly can come with me in Lorna when we sell them.
Yeah.
And you can come and fly out to us wherever we are in the world.
It's interesting, isn't it? How do you align your goals with Lorna? And I guess because are you lucky that you've both got the same goals? Have you ended up just falling into that because you compromise on it, or is it that like what is that?
I think we're both the same. So you know, we didn't have the luxury as kids to go on loads of holidays and see the world. Very much Lorna was from a working class family, you know, went to like Haven holidays like we did. I was the same, you know, to go. Sponsor.
Hope they survive the pandemic.
Yeah, they'll be fine. So we both want to go and see the world, and we've had kids very, very young. So again, can't go traveling, can't go to America. I mean, you could take the kids there, I guess, but can't afford it. So we definitely want to travel, but we're also like very much about the family. You know, we want to be there for our kids. You know, we'd only move away. I could see myself living abroad after I'm 50. You know, and she's the same. Once the kids have got to a stage where they don't need us anymore, kids are always going to need you, but you know what I mean? Like on a day-to-day, universities and having their own homes and their own families, we'll only be like in Europe. So it's like, you come out to us whenever you want, a free holiday, or we'll come fly back over. We both just want the same things.
See, I see that. I could be like, oh yeah, no, I'll be living in a different country when like Ava's be much older than what we refer to the baby as Bobble at the minute. As what Bobble, yeah. I like it. As what Bobble would be. Like, when Bobble hits university or age or whatever, you know, me and Cam might have more kids after this, whatever. But I see myself like, oh yeah, I'd love to live in America. But then, do you know what I see myself doing when I'm living in America?
Running a massive company.
Yeah, I don't see myself.
Lee Wilcox, CEO.
Yeah. Fuck you, and it'd like be able to go, fuck yeah, man.
It's not the Wolf of Wall Street, Wolf of Winkett. Yeah.
But yeah, so but look, time changes everything, doesn't it? And so does family.
Song in it, Time changes everything. Anyway,
and so does family. Terrible song. So yeah, I do think I think having a family and not, you know, will just naturally change things. I've not got a fixed mindset on it, all of it. Very much.
Can you imagine if we play this back in like 10 years and we're still doing it? And it's like, remember when you said that, Adam? He's like, what was I thinking? Like, this is you know what? I think what makes me feel it more now, but even though I've had that dream for a long time, is the day-to-day, this stress. It's the stress and the pressure that we've been under. I don't feel like I want to do that forever. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I cannot do that forever. My mind isn't built for it. I'm a thick lad from Tamworth, and you know, we've been fortunate. This is all hard work, but I just feel like I don't want to do this forever. Like, this is too much. I'll end up dying.
I think that's the only thing that makes me like question what I say, I guess, in this whole like future thing of me running other companies and shit, is that it's been so stressful the last couple of months and this year that it does put you off. It does make you go, okay, I could die. I just have a heart attack or something, you know. Which is kind of scary, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like that thing, because you don't know when it's coming. No one's going to let you know about it. No one's going to be like, if you carry on like this, in 2 weeks' time, definitely, when you're in Tesco's or at the co-op, you'll drop on the floor.
Yeah.
You don't get that message. You don't get those signals. So I think we have got to try and be mindful of it. But I know, like, with the goal that you've got, I know that you can do that because I know what the business is going to do. So I know full well that in 3 to 4 years, you will have that opportunity to go, okay, I'm starting to wind down.
I think that's the key there as well. It's having the opportunity. So when that comes about, it might be like, I could do if I wanted to do it. And maybe because I've achieved it, I'm able to achieve it. I might be like, oh, no, that's actually not what I wanted. I've got it. It always happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, like I look at when we first started the business, if I could look at where we are now here with the amount of people we've got, with the clients we've got, the revenue, personally, you know, how, you know, the way we're paid and stuff, I'd be like, that's just the dream.
Yeah.
That's the dream. And now my dream's changed. Now I've got here.
It's weird. I know. Yeah, you're right. Because actually, if you think about the times we would just walk into that shitty office in the pissing rain, sharing that bag, like that bag.
Yeah.
You would have snapped. You would have been like, oh, that's like, we've made it by then.
This would be more than what we probably thought.
In fact, it would have been like, oh, what, we're going to get paid that much money and we're going to have this. Oh, sound, I'll just do that forever then. Whereas, like you say, but I don't know whether I can't do this forever now because I'm just at a point where I'm like, well, okay, I can understand. I can see where the business is going. I understand it a lot more, and I know the journey. I don't know it intricately, but I know enough now to sort of see where we're heading.
Yeah.
That I'll go, okay, yeah, I can't. And I think, you know, I kind of like, I wonder whether I'm just going to like change my life every like 10 years or something. Remember there was we have a guest on the old podcast, Justin Morehouse, and he said he had a mate. You remember?
I do remember this.
Like wasn't he like a monk or something for like 10 years? And
yeah.
Every decade, he basically just changed his life.
I like that.
As in, like, flipped it on its head. I don't think he did it with his family or anything, and that stayed consistent. But in terms of like what he did for a living and what, you know, and he did some mad stuff. I can't remember the detail on it, but I always remember it sticking with me, being like, that sounds like a pretty like decent thing, because 10 years is a long time. But equally, it's short enough time to like have enough goes at it.
Well, the thing is, you know, I was in the trade for 12 years.
Was you?
Yeah, and I've been doing this for 6 years.
Yeah.
And by the time I leave, I'd have been doing it for 10 years. So I'm on track for doing this like every decade, doing something different. Then I might, you know, my 10 years of traveling or, you know, just sort of doing a bit of farming and that could end. And then when I'm in my 50s, we're like, new lease of life. That's the thing about being as young as we are. 50's young if you've got the right fucking attitude and you've looked after yourself. Do you know what I mean? That's what we need to make sure we do, is get to our 50s in good health. Because it's easier to prevent it, isn't it?
I think every year I revisit myself. It's usually this time of year, actually. I don't do well this time of year.
New year, new me.
Yeah, no, I really don't. I don't like this time of year, if I'm honest. Excuse me. I never have done, even as a kid. I didn't like it. And I think each year, we go through like whatever we go through in the year in running the business. This year in particular has been more difficult. And I start like revisiting like, not like development, but I just really start like almost searching for like things to help me understand how I'm feeling, and like, do you know what I mean? Like I read a shitload more, or I listen to like podcasts more, or I'll download more books on Audible, and I'll be like, oh, okay, what more information? But again, I always think, but then like having this conversation, like, am I doing that so that I can develop myself into the next stage of Lee Wilcox 2.0? Like, like I wonder whether whether I'm not enjoying the journey enough, and I'm just chasing the yet.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
I get there, I'm not there yet, but when I do get there, this is how it's going to be.
It's all about the journey, though, isn't it?
Like, yeah, fuck, I need the fucking. It wasn't here. It was there. I forgot. It was.
Yeah, it's like I'm not in great shape at the minute, but because I've been in great shape, I understand how far I am away from being in good shape. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like I'm like about 10 pounds heavier than I'd like to be, but I know it would take me for like 4 weeks to probably shift that. Even knowing that, it's still really difficult to do. I'm having a curry tonight, do you know what I mean? So I think I enjoy getting there. I'm happier achieving the weight loss than when I get there. Because when you get there, it's not like you sit in front of the mirror just naked 24/7 going, God, I look great. It's about going and challenging yourself and getting up and going, I've just burnt loads of calories. I've had a really good diet for the week. I feel great. It's so strange that like, it's actually, that's the journey that you enjoy, not standing in front of the mirror and looking at yourself. It's
and
like,
look, everyone says it, don't they? You know, you speak to anyone who's like built a business, sold a business, done something they love, built, you know, just operated change in some kind of way. It was like, oh yeah, I don't know. It's just the fun bit was the bit you love is the bit that you,
maybe
you're doing it all.
Maybe when I do sell, I won't enjoy it because I was like, actually, that was great. That was what I was.
Feel empty inside.
Yeah. I'll just be like that Pablo Escobar meme, just looking up the walls and that, like just sitting there. Like, loads of money, but nothing to do. Like,
sat there.
Yeah. Who knows? We've gone deep today, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's been.
But that's 2020's been a deep year, man. You've had to. I think a lot of people have had to rethink and look at themselves and understand. And I think everyone's learned something about themselves. Definitely. The one thing I do want to do, Dave, bring up my prop, which I didn't do.
Yes.
It's a classic, isn't it? Yeah, that's camera. Yeah. So this here was the first year in operating on the tools. It's got the old On the Tools logo on there. The second On the Tools logo. And we did a Snapchat competition where Ad was doing the Snapchat, and I leant over Ad's shoulder, and then Ad said, "Draw a picture of this man," and this was the one that won. I was smiling at the time. I don't. We haven't got the original picture.
No, we haven't. But I definitely think that looks like Lee 2020.
Yeah, that is me 2020. Yeah, it is.
But no, that's
good one.
It's really good. That is, and that's. I'm so happy you bought that.
It's a belt of that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good memory. That is, because we were blown away when we seen like the detail of it. It was so good.
There was a lot of penises that came back on it.
Oh yeah, everyone just drew. We literally had about like 250 submissions, and I'd say a good 240 of them were penises. Yeah.
You know the one like we did with the wee coming out of it. Just a good one.
Yeah. Is it wee? Is it?
Well,
depends what colour it is. But wherever you want, mate. Wherever. I think if you. No, I think if you move the Aston Martin across. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Decent, that, mate.
It's
a good way to end the year.
Yeah, get my 2020 face on there.
Yeah, and you know what? We're gonna have a curry now, so it's even better.
We are going to celebrate with a curry. We're going to sign off 2020 with the beg as usual. As please subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yep.
It's been a very, very strange year, but the main thing is we all got through it. And roll on 2021 where I am definitely going to look after myself better. That's a promise.
It's not a New Year's resolution. It's a lifestyle change.
No, it's not a New Year's resolution. No, it's not.
Boom.
I don't stick to them. So no one does.
No. But
it's a January thing, aren't they?
Yeah, we're gonna use the gym more downstairs. We should have meetings in the gym. That way, we could do it on the runner, on the rower.
I'll turn up to it then, when I.
You will do, yeah. Yeah, we just have Olivia just writing minutes.
Yeah.
I'm joking, but no, I think next year we should do more of that. We should get in that gym, mate. Do some classes downstairs.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
that we've got a gym downstairs.
Yeah, so we're very lucky, aren't we, with that?
Yeah.
I've never been in there. So, have you been in there, Jamie? You have?
You've never been in there, but only because you're a member at Snowdome, right?
Oh, yeah. I think officially I might still be a member, but I had to serve my 3 months notice. I've been doing that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Happy days.
Yeah. As always, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, please leave a review. We will in the new year be having a bit of a roster for guests, so please make sure you check that out. We're going to get some super interesting people on.
And if you listen to this and you want to be on, then let us know. We'll have anyone on. We're desperate.
Yeah, 2 Deses. And if we don't see you before, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm Lee Wilcox.
I'm Adam Barry. Love to you all.
Goodbye.